welcome to the Dreadful Therapy Podcast. I'm here with Matt Dale, a 21-year-old second year studying at Northumbria from Yorkshire. This is episode 5 of the Dreadful Therapy Podcast, and we're delighted to have Matt here. So Matt, welcome.
Yep, cheers mate, thanks for having me.
Oh, absolute pleasure. I believe you've been listening to the podcast or have heard a few episodes, so you'll kind of know the format.
Yeah, I've got a rough idea, yeah, cheers.
But yeah, for the people who don't know, we're just going to be talking through just like life experiences going through childhood, school, education, employment, and social life. We're just going to have a chat about those, see if we can get some embarrassing stories. Obviously still in lockdown, so still on Zoom, which is a bit of a shame, but here we are. So, if you're fully happy with that, Matt, we'll get into it straight away.
Yeah, head straight in, yeah.
Okay, so well, in fact, we'll work out a bit about you. So describe yourself in maybe a few words or in a little sentence. So for the people who don't know, Matt.
Yeah, just an all-round top bloke.
I couldn't disagree.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Very average, very average.
I think you're underselling yourself.
Oh, cheers, mate. I don't know. That's quite a tough one to answer, actually.
I was about to say it's not an easy one. I always think I can't think of like specific words. I mean, we've had in the past, I think in previous episodes we've had quite a few people who've I don't know, like gone for some positive ones. I think you're the first one to go for average, but you know.
All right.
But yeah, you know.
Yeah, sorry to lower the tone.
I think though, I think the word might be humble then.
Right, yeah,
as a great boat. So, but I mean, because being a friend of Matt's, I've known him for quite a little while. I actually don't know for how long. Sometime in secondary school, I met you. Yeah. Can you remember? Would it have been at football or anything?
I remember you being very small when I first met you. Probably year 8, sometime like that.
I was a big representative of the Short Kings. I think I was I'm probably like around 5 foot until but probably year 11 realistically. Rough times, but you know I was.
What you know about 5'8", 5'9" maybe?
I wouldn't comment because I actually have no idea. I've had people measure me in the past, but like relatively recently, and I was actually talking about this to someone else. Every time they get it wrong, so I've got like a range of somewhere, and I don't know where I am in it.
Just go for the top one, mate.
Because but the thing is, I'm still, I think, too far away to claim I'm 6 foot, which is a shame. Which I know a lot of people at 5'10", 5'11" love to claim. But anyway, I guess. Kind of learned a bit about you. Hopefully we can learn a bit more soon. But gonna be talking about your childhood, maybe a standout memory perhaps. So if you've got a standout memory, what would it be of childhood, that is?
What age range are we talking childhood wise?
I'd say because we're going to be talking about education, and usually people talk about secondary school mostly, and that we'll go with like primary school type of age, anything from the start. And when I say standout memory, you know, when someone says childhood, and there's one specific thing you think of, it's like the thing of like family holiday, something like that.
Yeah. Oh man, I remember nearly drowning.
Lovely, what a great childhood memory.
great memory. Yeah, I should probably think of a more happy one.
Well, to be fair, obviously not to create a bad memory, but it does sound quite interesting. Yeah. How did you nearly drown?
So I think we were in Spain or something, and you know how you get those Hot Wheels?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was a big enthusiast back in the day.
Big Hot Wheels fan.
Yeah, big collector. I was just fanning about with one of them on the side of the pool. Got a bit excited, threw it in the pool. Not really thinking to go head first in, couldn't swim. So Jim Dale had to come in and save the day.
Oh well, we do love Jim Dale. I remember him down at football, but being great, one of the best coaches ever, actually.
Yeah.
He's up there, but no, I can't. I don't know. That is a. So did you just go head first in and then realise?
I think so. Yeah, my memory is a bit foggy, but yeah, definitely some sort of Hot Wheels was involved.
Okay, and so what I don't understand about that is why, if you know you can't swim, why are you going in after it? Was your love for Hot Wheels just
Hot
that
Wheels,
much?
that clear, as I say, big enthusiast back in the day. So clearly, I've just got a bit excitable. Um, I don't know. When you're young, I probably would have been about 4, and you just get a bit ahead of yourself, don't you?
Yeah, well, you know what it's like. You think you're all that when you fall, don't you,
Yeah,
Matt? And to be
yeah.
honest, that attitude for you just hasn't changed at all, has
It's
it,
not
mate?
changed.
You know, maybe when I asked you um how you describe yourself, possibly head on. You know, actually, that's actually not you at all. You're very laid back, I think, and quite. You're a bit of a wind up merchant, I'd say.
At times.
But that's rich coming from me.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
is there anything else in your childhood? But anything stand out?
Should probably give you a happy memory.
Well, don't make it sound like there's too many to choose from.
Yeah. it's hard to think of just one. I don't know. I like playing football as a
Yeah,
as a as a child. Um, used to go swimming. Clearly, the parents thought it was important to teach me how to swim after that episode. So,
yeah, no,
um,
definitely. They thought
yeah.
he needs to learn
So
how to
when
look after his Hot Wheels.
yeah, so I can't remember if it was Sundays or Saturdays, but I used to go swimming, and then football after that. So yeah, you can have that.
Active, active child.
Such an active boy, and clearly it's not paid dividend now.
I mean, I don't know, Matt. I know you play for the six side team I play in, and you've made one appearance so far and proved yourself quite the athlete.
Ah,
4 goals,
cheers, mate. Yeah,
all thanks to me, obviously, with
yeah,
great
yeah.
assist.
Of course, of course.
It was phenomenal. But yeah, no. Well, I know that. I always thought it was unusual. Of like, I guess with football, am I right in saying your dad was quite involved in Ilkley Juniors, which was the local football club?
Yeah, yeah.
What's that like? I always think, did you get picked more? Did you not?
It was all right. No, I think it probably went the opposite way. But I wasn't a great footballer. But
Certainly come
uh,
on
are you what?
nowadays. You've certainly come on a lot nowadays. Top
Oh,
player.
cheers, man. No, I was a goalkeeper back in the day, so I used to do half a game in there and half a game out. Um,
Oh,
so
great goalkeeping ability. Did you have a nickname? I feel like the people had a nickname at the
um,
when they were keepers. I feel like there was possibly a who was it? Something the cat is what they called someone.
who Oliver Dunn?
Was it Ollie Dunn?
Oh yeah, he called it. He's that's a self-proclaimed nickname there.
Oh, is it? Oh, I thought no. I swear back in Ilkley Juniors we had a proper nicknames of people. But anyway,
Oh, maybe,
as in
maybe.
I
No, I
feel
don't.
like maybe Max the cat or something.
Yeah, I don't. I don't
Possibly.
think I have one. I don't think I clearly
No.
warrant one.
But this is I guess an odd question, but how do you think your childhood was in comparison to like what you see in the media, maybe what you see on films or TV?
Yeah. Pretty standard. Pretty
Yeah.
standard, to be honest. I don't. How would you? I don't know. What would you say the typical childhood
Typical.
is in terms of the media's perception of it?
I don't know. Well, I suppose it would be the standard thing of just like I don't know, just knocking about outside,
Yeah.
doing your thing. I mean, I feel like you probably been our age caught the proper outdoors, still having fun bit
I think
now.
that was pretty much it. Yeah. Um, I couldn't read very well as a child. Not great reading now, so I had to put in a few man hours to make sure that I could read now.
Yeah.
During the early stages, but apart from that, it was pretty basic.
Yeah, I feel like I was a dreadful reader. I know you're one of the extra time people,
Yeah, yeah,
but
the
we'd all
extra
look
time.
across each other
Yeah,
during the
yeah,
exams,
yeah. Good
uh,
times.
and we'd always be there. And so, I mean, I find that a weird question because it's like, well, what, like you say, what exactly is it? But no, I think it's fair to say just standard would be, I guess, just like just a generally nice childhood. I mean,
Yeah,
I feel like if I was to ask somebody, obviously, usually we have people we know on the podcast, and so I feel like if I was to ask somebody that, and I knew they maybe didn't have quite the normal childhood, I might be actually quite reluctant to ask them, just in case. But no, well, great. And so in childhood, like you asked me, what was the time frame between like where does childhood end, what
Yeah.
age? And so was there a moment of where you were obviously knocking about as little Matt Dale, just as a kid, just being you, and then you turned into, you felt like, you know what,
Yeah. The big
possibly
man I
leaving
am today.
childhood now. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Becoming the force that you are
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
What would it be?
Good question. I don't know. It's probably sometime in secondary school when you start, because we because our primary school didn't do SATs. I think there was some sort of,
At
I
the
don't
time,
know.
there was some weird thing of where some schools weren't
Did
doing
it?
them.
Yeah, yeah. I think the team, with the likes of me and Joe Burgess in that class, I think they were worried about bringing
Yeah.
the reputation of the school down. So,
Yeah, no,
so
well, friend of the podcast, Joe, obviously Joe Burgess, episode
4, I think.
yeah, episode 4, most recent episode.
Mm.
So yeah, no, but carry on. Sorry, you said just
Yeah, I think so. We didn't have to do any. I didn't have to do any sort of exams till when did you start doing exams in secondary school? Like year 9?
yeah, yeah. I feel like you do year 9. No, it'll be year 10, won't
Year
it? It'll
10.
be mock exams for GCSEs. Year 10.
Probably when people are saying you've got to start picking your GCSEs.
No, I remember actually. You might have had quite the financial incentive to do well in your GCSEs.
Yeah, yeah. My parents didn't have a lot of faith in me as an academic, which was fair enough actually.
How did it go?
Yeah, it went well. I remember during those mocks, I picked what was it called now? It was DT, but it was electronic.
Okay.
I can't remember what the
Yeah.
actual name of it was, but I remember we had. I really struggled with it, and during the mocks, I was doing practice papers, and I found the mock paper that he sent us out to do, basically, and I'd found like basically it was a bit like a
The
cheat
answers.
sheet.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
remember,
it just was the answers, wasn't it?
yeah, it just was the answers. I remember filling it out, and I was like, oh, it can't be too obvious, because if I get like an A star, he's gonna know. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'll just go for like a B, B or an A. He put this thing on the wall with everyone's grades, and I was well confident, so I charged up to that list, and then it just said it's just a D next to my name. So I thought, I have no hope in this at all.
That is rough. You had the answers, and the thing is, you've obviously gone over what they must have had high grade boundaries or something. That is rough.
Well, yeah, who knows? I actually ended up getting a B in the actual thing, which was unheard of.
Congratulations.
Yeah, cheers.
Unreal from you. I
Yeah.
feel like I was very much the same as well, because I just obviously you just didn't really try in mocks particularly. So yeah, and then like came out with all right grades. But I guess I've asked you. I've asked you like a good standout memory. What's your worst memory of childhood? Not to prey on anything awful again,
yeah.
but
I mean, the drowning might be up there, to be fair. What else? What else was bad? Yeah, parents' divorce probably not a highlight.
Yeah, no. Well, it's a rough one to deal with. I know we had Mike on speaking about that.
Yeah,
and so yeah, no. Was that something that I don't know. I guess I don't know. Was it something that you really went through? Was it quickly, or that, like, I don't know, obviously, because I didn't know what age you're at, but was it something you were really aware of at the time? Or?
I think it was in year 5.
Okay, so you're like the age where you know what's going on.
Yeah, I knew what was going on. Yeah, yeah, but I can't really remember that period of time, to be honest.
Yeah.
I
No,
can't
I
remember.
think it's
To be honest, I can't remember it being that traumatic.
yeah.
Probably drowning's probably worse, to be fair.
Yeah, well, to be fair, so close to death experience, and so
Yeah.
it's one of those things. I mean, because I've been asking this question a lot. People's like worst memory. If I was, it's for the same with all these questions. It's why I ask them. I have no idea what to say, and so to move on to even more difficult questions, education. And so I've heard about your childhood, and so when I say education, this literally can include primary, secondary, college. I know you've been jumping about
Yeah,
between the later
yeah,
stages.
yeah,
That's not you getting held back a year. That's you
yeah,
choosing to jump about.
yeah. No, I was
And
just cutting
so,
about for a while, wasn't I?
yeah, college, uni, etc. And
Mm.
so, all of those things. And so, would you say you like school in general?
Yeah,
Or
yeah. I'd say I preferred secondary school.
it's where you met me.
Yeah, well, of course, a highlight.
Erased with my pleasure.
Yeah. But yeah, I think secondary school probably enjoyed a bit more than primary.
Okay.
But yeah, it was all good. Didn't enjoy. I moved to Prince Henry's after my
Yeah.
GCSEs for about a week.
Yeah.
Didn't like that. And then I went to college. Wasn't a fan of
Okay.
that either. And then I just ended up back at Ilkley. So
Ilkley, yeah.
yeah,
And so, for anyone who doesn't know, where me and Matt both went to Ilkley, and I guess the usual progression would have been you get to year 11 and you either go to a college, another sixth form, so Prince Henry's, like you mentioned, or you'd go to the sixth form at the school. And so you just decided, you know what, I'm so good, I'm going to get them done.
Yeah.
And then am I right in saying went to uni and did you go to Liverpool?
Yeah, I went to Liverpool. Didn't really enjoy the course, so dropped out of there. And then after I dropped out, I realised that I was going to have to front like £4,000 for the accommodation, which was a bit rough. But yeah.
Well, went straight to glide and slide, didn't you?
Yeah.
You loved it there, didn't you?
Yeah, it was definitely a highlight of my working career, glide and slide. Yeah.
But well, no, I mean, lovely stuff. And so throughout all that time, you've been jumping around, like I guess friends, because you'll have been moving schools to college, uni, things like that. What friends group would you have put yourself in when it comes to stereotypes? So popular, I don't know, like nerdy, in somewhere in the middle or something like that. Well, where would you have put yourself? Because I know you're a bit of a range, you're a bit of a dabbler.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely not a nerd. Not intelligent enough to be a nerd, unfortunately. I don't know. Like you say, you just float about, don't you?
I think it's the best way to be.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I thought I had a pretty good relationship with a lot of people in that year. To be fair, so yeah.
Good
I don't know if you had to boil it down to one stereotype. I'm not quite sure where I'd fit in, but.
Well, I think also because you were obviously in our year the whole time, and then when you went back to Oakley, you were in the year below. Yeah. I guess it kind of, I don't know. Obviously, you're the big boy going into. You're a big fish in a small
big fish.
And so, did you find yourself being, I don't know, being looked up to as a career pro at Ilkley?
I wouldn't say that. I don't think anyone knew who I was, to be honest.
I cannot believe that.
But
Matt Dale.
No, it was a good couple of years. I enjoyed that. Met some good people in the year below. I live with two of them now.
Great
at
stuff.
uni. So yeah, no, it was a good time.
Oh well, amazing. And so, best and worst memory of an education, or just an embarrassing one, or something like that. You just something that I think people would want to hear.
Yeah.
Usually, embarrassing is a good one.
Right, yeah, that is tough. Any
You've got
any
lots to choose from, especially hanging around with the people you did for a lot of the time, and embarrassing memories, I imagine.
Oh God, what's an embarrassing one?
I mean, you can just
I
go with
actually
best
can't
and
think.
worst, whether you had a maybe exam results or something. Just
Well, that mock exam where I got a D when I was expecting a. Oh, I suppose actually, when I got my A level results back, it didn't matter because ended up, where I am now, which I'm happy with, which is good. But
yeah,
I remember going in to get those A level results, and I thought I'd done really well in my business exam, and I thought I'd done pretty well in my economics. And
yeah,
I thought, because I did psychology as well, but that was not for me, that one. So I think
yeah,
about 2 months before that psychology exam, I just realised this is not for me. So I just sacked it off,
yeah.
and so as a result of that, it meant that I had to
Indeed.
do well in business and my economics exams.
Yeah,
Um, so I went into that thinking, worst case scenario, it's gonna be two B's and a U, and
yeah.
I came out with two C's and an E. So
Oh, okay,
that
okay.
was a bit rough, but the E was a welcome surprise, to be fair.
Yeah, and so I mean, so and was that that'll have been at Ilkley, won't it?
Yeah, yeah,
And
that
so
was.
I'm right in saying Northumbria is no stroll to get into. I mean, obviously it's
Well, I think
of days, but
the
it's no
reason I
stroll.
ended up getting into Northumbria was because I'd done that year at college.
Oh,
So
okay. Big
yeah, the
moves
big
from
the
you
big
then.
cheese had a plan for me all along.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff. I mean, because I remember I think the first time because I took a year out, which meant I had to apply for a UCAS twice.
Mm,
First time around, I had applied for Northumbria, and I was like a bit like I needed three Bs for it, and I was like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna get that. I thought I might get an A and maybe two Cs,
yeah,
and just not manage it. But I ended up getting three Bs somehow in government and politics. Stole myself a B after the whole 2 years, not getting above a D the entire time, which was unbelievable.
yeah,
Because I think I resat actually most of my exams in the second year, which actually really helped, if I'm honest. But
mm,
no, I mean, it sounds like the college and moving about was a good idea, and I know you've obviously it's and so clearly clearly enjoying it.
yeah. Sorry, you broke up there a bit.
Oh,
Um, so I
it's
think
all
that was
right.
on my end.
This is the pleasure of Zoom.
Yeah.
Should be okay. But no, I was just saying you seem like you're enjoying uni.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. No, it's good. It's interesting at the moment, all online. Um, but yeah, it's good fun. Quite grateful actually that I'm at uni when all this is going on. To be fair, if
yeah,
I was at home, I'd yeah be struggling. To be fair.
yeah. I was about to say. I mean, I know you're very much the type of person to be. Know you personally. You're very much the type of person to leave stuff to the last minute. It is kind of
Mm,
nice, I think, having that bit of work going on gives you
yeah,
something to do. That if you are really bored, there's like you feel like when you're not doing something, you know you're gonna have to work at one point, so you can kind of enjoy it more,
yeah,
which I am.
definitely, definitely.
But about uni, so obviously you've had your issue with
Liverpool.
Liverpool and the thing. Was it worth the money? Do you think?
Liverpool definitely wasn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, I really ended up paying for that one, but
27 grand for 3 years. What do you think?
no, it's not. It's not worth it.
Daylight robbery.
It is daylight robbery. But I still don't know what I want to do. So it's one of them.
Just cruising.
You've picked it, and you're just kicking the can a little bit further down the line.
Yeah, to be fair, you're just cruising along, just
Yeah,
biding your time before the big bad world comes and gets you.
yeah,
Which, I guess, I mean, I'll ask you finally for child education before we move on to the penultimate section of What would you go back and change about your education? What might you reapproach in a different way? It's a tough one.
Uh, I don't know. Probably. I don't know. Probably not a lot in terms of how I ended up after GCSEs looping about and then coming back to Ilkley because like I
I
say,
guess
I'm
in
quite
hindsight,
yeah, I'm quite happy with kind of where I am now. But
yeah.
just maybe I'll just tell myself don't be so, especially in primary school, just don't be so worried about everything.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely a worrier in
In
primary school.
in primary school, you were a worrier. That really
Yeah,
surprises me.
yeah.
You
Now
are
it's
literally. I mean, I've looked back in the past, and I've thought, I've always been someone who's wanted to be a bit more laid back, and I thought, you know what, I think being like Matt would be a good thing. It's laid
that's
back.
very
That
kind.
to hear that you started from the bottom, being a
Yeah. You gotta
worrier
you gotta
like
climb
the
that
rest of
ladder.
us, and so no, okay, it's definitely an interesting one, and so um, employment. So I guess we'll just talk about your jobs. What have you done?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about this question. I think my first job was the one that you got me,
Yeah, well, you're
which was
welcome.
which was working at a driving range in Silsden.
Mhm.
Um,
Actually, I shouldn't take too much credit because I was also the one who lost you that job.
no, well, I actually think I lost it myself because I remember I was supposed to be covering for you once, and I just didn't turn up. I just completely forgot that I had it on.
It's
Um,
honestly, I think I remember it. I don't know. I think I remember it very vaguely, and I think I was been to a house party, and I was like, I was like not up for it. And usually like at the times I'd called in sick were like I barely ever, but when I did, it was like I'd always organize you to come in
yeah,
because obviously like it was all right, and it's a bit of a weird job. I mean, you remember like 15, 16-year-old us would just be left alone at a driving range
yeah.
with like the till with no help at all, for a measly £4 an hour,
£4 an hour is definitely breaking some sort of
cash in hand as well.
yeah quality.
No, I did always feel bad of where they pay you at the end of the day, and you never only work 4 hours, so you're only getting £16, and you feel like you were stealing all their money out of the till because they like because it was obviously only in multiples of 250 a bucket of balls.
Yeah.
I remember. But yeah, so you started humble beginnings.
Yeah.
They always say it's who you know, not what you
Yeah,
know.
what you
And
know, yeah.
obviously, you know me, so
Well,
big job hookers.
yeah. But yeah, after that, did a bit of well, actually, I wasn't there for long. To be fair, I did a bit of pot washing at the Black Hat.
Okay, and
Didn't
that's a
last long.
local pub.
Yeah, didn't
And
last long
so
there.
yeah.
Uh,
And how did you find that? Did you? I mean, my worst nightmare would be having to be a pot wash because my brother was a chef, and he did pot washing at the start, and then when I went up slowly, became a chef, like qualified, and he hated working in a kitchen. I've heard all the
yeah,
stories about it, and I just could have never done it. And so, how was it?
yeah, it was awful.
Yeah, I
But
imagine.
I was literally there for about 2 weeks, and then I thought, and then I actually got offered a job at a chippy, which I took, and then before my first shift, they actually closed. Um,
Ah,
so that was a bit tough. Um, but
that
then
is rough.
yeah, and then I think after that I got offered another job at a chippy, and I did that, and that's probably the best job
You
I've ever had.
big,
That one.
big. Which chip shop was this?
Grandad Next. Now
Okay.
Midgley Fisheries, if anyone's
Yeah,
wondering.
yeah, and so I guess um, hmm, if I know someone actually who worked at that fish and chip shop, and they are serial firers, and they fire everyone,
Yeah,
and they're not there for long. So my girlfriend was fired from there, and I know a couple of other people who got fired from there after not long. So I think they get through staff like nothing else, and so um, no, it's. And then I know most recently, obviously you worked at Glide and Slime, but I know most
mm.
recently you've been doing something quite interesting, haven't you?
Oh yeah. So obviously the times that we are living in at the moment, people need COVID vaccines. and I've just
Key
been
key worker. I'm
yeah
out
yeah.
at 8 o'clock every night with my foot in my pan, just like, come on, Matt.
Yeah, that's for me. And yeah, just basically, I'm just watching old people at the moment. When they're doing these vaccines, just to make sure that they don't have an allergic reaction. So yeah,
Well, that's
it's
good of
not
you.
it's not interesting, but something to do.
Well, no, I think it's a definitely. I know, obviously, you say it's not very interesting. From the outside, it sounds quite interesting, and I know you've gone from, obviously within the rules, an accidental super spreader to the one solving it all.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
paying you dues. I do say, obviously, because you're a guardian of the rules, and we know
Yeah, of
that,
course.
Matt. And we wouldn't have it any other way. And so, I don't know why you're laughing. And then so, in all of those jobs, embarrassing moment. Surely there's got to be something a bit like, I don't know, like,
Well,
I was
I worked at Skipton Building Society after Glide and Slide, and they had this like 3 week training thing,
okay.
and there's like 10 of you in this in this thing, yeah, getting trained up basically to answer calls, and I can't remember what they're called, so this story might make zero sense, but yeah, if anyone's done like work on the phones, they'll know that they've got to complete all these like online training sessions, that are like an hour a piece, and then they refresh every now and then. And after our training, we'd got told to go and do these like 15 things, and at the end of the day, we went back into this little training room, and the person that was leading it all said, was like going down the list of people in the room, and just asking them which of these training things they'd done. And every time she was like, "Oh, put your hand up if you've done this one." And everyone's hand was going up, and mine just stayed down.
Stay down. What for every single one of them?
I think I managed to get 2 of them done, and most people had done about 10. So
that's the thing is,
yeah.
Oh, go on. Sorry,
well,
carry
it's
on.
just at the end of it, there was just this little table, and it was just a tally of like 10, 9, 11, and then mine was just like 2.
That's especially. Was it just that, obviously, like you said, like we said earlier, we're part of the extra time brigade.
I think yeah, I had a little word, and I just said, promise I'm not dossing. I am just a bit dim. So yeah.
No, well, no. The thing is, I'm like, I think it's good that you had a little word. Didn't let them worry. Let them know you are aware. You're absolutely
they'd already put 3 weeks training into me, so I think it would have been fine either way. But.
No, I remember I actually sat in when I quit Tesco. I sat in on my last shift. Well, not my last shift, the shift I handed in my notice. And they're like, "Oh, quickly go." They've started training. Like, they do training every now and then. Like, quickly go upstairs, start your training. I was just like, "Yeah, I just need to. I don't know whether it's worth me doing." And they're like, "No, quickly go." Didn't let me finish. And so I'm sat in training for an hour. I keep trying to bring up the fact that I need to hand in my notice because I might as well go and do the actual work and help them and wait and just train with them. And so what happens is, and I keep trying to say something, and my manager's just like, "Oh, Robbie, will you just wait?" And so eventually, I just wait till the very end. I just sit tight, and like, it was one of these. They show this really weird like video. I don't know what it's like. It's like a robbery video showing that colleagues steal things, but after being there a year and a half, and I think they'd have known whether I was stealing things or not. And so, they show that I get through, and then at the very end, I'm just like, "Oh, here you go. I need to hand in my notice. I'm leaving." And they were like, I can't believe it. You're just sat in this whole meeting. And I was like, in fairness, I did try. And it's not an easy thing to resign in front of everyone. And I didn't want to make it look like I was being rude and just being like, can you all just shut up? I'm leaving. And because it's just one of those things. But,
I hate handing in a notice. It's rank.
I did have a bit of a scare though because I did a jokey notice where I just like changed the like some of the wording on it and just like it was a bit crude, I guess. And then I print them both out, take one in, and put them both in envelopes to give one of them to somebody I work with as a joke of like, oh yeah, is this okay? This is what I'm going to hand in, and it was just like really rude and awful, and it was like just on purposely awful. And then when I go, yeah, so I've got to hand in my notice and get the letter out. I reach into my pocket and they're both in there, and I'm like, oh. And so I managed to like peek, and I'd like scribbled on one of them, the one that was, and I was like handed it in, and it was fine. But it was to the manager that it was to as well, and I was just like, oh, that could have been a disaster because I like the guy. So no, I just did it as a joke because it was a dispute over overtime mostly. But
fair. Do you ever get paid for the overtime?
What, get paid for it? Yeah, no. So I got at Tesco, they do this thing, it's called like a flexi contract, which is just a way of giving you a couple of hours a week on contract,
right?
So that you get like pennies of sick pay if you need to be off on holiday. It's just basically a glorified 0 hours. And so it was just one of those things of where I did get paid for overtime, but I said at the start, by the way, I'm here for this many hours. I can do this many hours. You don't have to employ me, but this is all I can do. And then they kept coming to me for overtime, and I got let's talks for it every time. And so, which are these just like little disciplinary meetings. But it was okay in the end, but it kind of just got known that I did like basically no hours a week. I literally did like 8 hours a week because I had a uni at the time, and I did make it known. But they kind of couldn't get rid of me because I could help every now and then.
Yeah.
But so, dream job, what would it be? Finally, I guess I'll quickly ask that.
Dream job.
It's okay if you don't have one because I know you said you're not too sure. I wouldn't expect you to. But if any job in the world, obviously, you could be a Matt Dale impersonator.
that chippy job was genuinely pretty decent, to be fair. It actually was. I can't say that's my dream job.
No, that's definitely your dream job. We've signed you up for the chippy. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with working in a chippy, but you know, you clearly loved it. And so we'll move on finally to just social lives and relationships. So obviously, this means friendships, anything like that. And so, just gonna obviously we've had the lockdown, and so actually I should warn. Obviously, you might have listened to it, but do talk a bit about mental health and stuff. And so, I know we've had the lockdown, and I feel like you kind of went through one before when you broke your leg, and everyone had to visit you, and you were isolated for a while with that because you couldn't move, and so. But how have you found it? Is there anything you've learned about yourself?
The first one was all right. I seem to remember the weather being pretty decent as well in the first one.
Summertime.
And I was working at Morrison's as well, so I was actually all right during that first one, to be fair.
Just cruising along.
Yeah, just cruising. And then the second one was pretty rough because I was at uni for that one, and we played football like 3 times a week, and then that just stopped, obviously. So that's it's good to like. I feel much better about myself. I feel like I'm in a better space if I'm exercising kind of semi-regularly. So and I don't like going for runs. I just don't like doing it. I mean, I do them every now and then, but
I mean, I was about to say I do. You put your treadmill, and I do get a nice sweaty picture of you running on your running on your treadmill, like with a caption like "Witness the fitness" every now and then.
Health as well.
That's it. Health is wealth. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
another one you love. And so, no, I do get that quite a bit from you. And so I feel like that's always for me with mental health and things. If I could recommend anything to anyone of like a harmless thing you can do of where there's not much. There's like you can't really go wrong with it. It's just
No.
exercise. It's like
Yeah.
the best thing. And you like you say, clear. Not necessarily clears your head, but it just I
No,
guess
I think it does. I think if you go on like a run for even if it's like 20 minutes, you just well, if I when I do, it, I don't think about anything really. I
yeah,
don't. There's
yeah.
not a lot going on in my head anyway. But
Mm.
it's definitely not a lot going on when I'm running.
Yeah. No, well, no, exactly. And I think I sent this to Ollie, another person who's going to be on the podcast in the future,
Oh, that'll
hopefully.
be an
Yeah,
interesting one.
yeah, it should be a
Tiger
good episode.
or Dunning.
Oliver Dunn, and so he should be
Yeah.
on at one point. And so I said to him, it's one of those things of like he's been doing a few home workouts, the big man he is. So have I, and we're kind of talking about how with exercise, it's one of those things of if you just do it, you can never, unless obviously you injure yourself. There's like exercise, any type, you never regret it afterwards.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Apart from the time obviously you broke your leg, I'm sure you wish you hadn't
Yeah.
gone to football
Yeah.
that day.
That was not wise, but anyway.
But you did actually. I think I actually got to know you more. See, during your leg break,
Yeah, probably actually. Yeah. Yeah.
we'd come down for a few Mario Kart tournaments,
Yeah.
and they get pretty. They get, you know what, they get pretty wild.
Pretty heated. Yeah.
And they would get incredibly heated. I think I actually, I might have remembered. I know, just a lot of shouting. Poor Helen, your mum, just having to put up with us there during the day.
Yeah.
I remember actually, probably the most like a Matt Dale thing ever. You had a bell that you would ring for your mum to come and bring you stuff, you little spoiled man.
I was incapacitated at the time. There's nothing else to do.
It's just a little wonky leg, that was all. And so no, definitely. And so I guess no, exercise is definitely something you never regret it once you've done it. Like you're
it's a good point. It's a good point that I hadn't thought about that.
It's because that's the thing of like obviously a lot of the time you can do exercise and you won't necessarily enjoy it, but there's no way of not enjoying the bit afterwards because you kind of just like, oh, I've done it now.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously with like things that are unhealthy, like I don't know, if you eat like proper like fast food afterwards, you're like, obviously it was lovely to do at the time, but you're like proper like, oh, and just feel awful afterwards. And so, I guess knowing that, do you think with it all, I guess I've asked everyone else this, in the group, with I don't know, like mental health things like that, you get enough support, or that you ever look for it, or anything like that, or that you know it's there, or anything, or would you like more as a bloke?
I can't. I'm quite fortunate. I've never really suffered with anything too drastic.
Yeah.
So it's tough one for me to answer because I don't think I've ever felt the need really to.
Yeah. Okay. No.
But
it's an interesting one. Very, very, very jealous, mate.
Yeah. I know
you
it
know
is.
what?
I'm fortunate, definitely.
You're an absolute mentality monster, and so you just don't like get to But no, okay. Well, to be fair, it's a brilliant thing to hear. But I guess from the outside, then, of somebody who hasn't, because like obviously so far, have people like talk about it, how they feel like Joe Burgess was a bit the same, of like he was just like, oh, he talk about it when he needs to, whatever. But do you feel like if something did come up and there was something that you would feel, feel able to share, or do you think that like stereotypes you might be a bit more uneasy about it?
Yeah, I don't think so much. It'd be a case of I won't be worried like if I came to say you to talk about it. I wouldn't feel worried about it, but I know that I wouldn't like it.
It just make you feel a bit uncomfortable. Like you'd be like, "What on earth am I doing?"
Yeah, 100%. It's not. Yeah, I'm not the I'm not the most intelligent end of, but definitely not the most emotionally intelligent.
Oh, don't oversell yourself. I know you're a big hit with hit with everyone you meet, and so you've clearly got the emotional intelligence. I know
Oh, cheers, mate.
you've I mean I think the love life's been flourishing recently, Matt, hasn't it?
I
So
don't know
you're
what
clearly very the
Vicious runes.
no clearly very emotionally intelligent, and so uh, I guess do you I guess your social life in general. Obviously, we talked about having friends earlier. Yeah, have you ever found yourself without friends, or have you consistently had a good group?
No, I think I've got a good group of mates. To be fair, um, lucky to have that. But yeah, I think like just through like football and um, I think as a year group, our year was quite um, social as well. So um,
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Okay.
I think I'm fairly fortunate in that department.
Yeah. No, I always think that. I guess I've always been similar in that I was like, I've never really found myself without like anyone, I guess. And I know that does happen to some people, like out of choice. Some people are just like not
Mm.
into it. But I guess it's like obviously I feel like Big Matt has a busy schedule of a mixture of social events and doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely true. I can go a week without seeing anyone, or a week seeing someone every day, and I'm
Yeah,
quite happy doing either.
yeah. Oh, well, that's great. You're versatile, and
Yeah.
so I guess we've not much more to ask you. We know a lot about you, and it's been great to have you on. And
Oh,
so thanks
cheers.
so much, Matt. It's been brilliant. And so I hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah, it's been good. I recommend it to anyone out there if you're
Yeah.
looking to
if,
if you're
well, looking
invited
to
on.
be on a podcast.
Yeah,
Well, obviously, if anyone ever wanted to, just ask. And so, but no, it would be. Yeah, it's been brilliant. And so, I guess I'll see you later. And but if anyone wants to download or listen to the podcast, it's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, just any
all the big
podcast.
ones,
All the big,
all the
in fact,
headlines.
all the headliners and also all of the little ones as well. It's literally on everything. There's a YouTube with the video version, and there's got an Instagram with a couple of highlights, and I'll have to see if I can pick out any highlights from this podcast. So we'll see. And so yeah, no, just go give it a listen, share it around if you want. And so thanks very much for listening. And so see you from both me and Matt.
Bye.